Welcome back to the deep dive. In a previous deep dive, we touched on Kaiju No.8 and how much it pulls from, well, Godzilla and that whole Japanese kaiju scene.
Right, the legendary stuff. And we've also talked solo leveling, which is just packed with these insane battles,
Why?
One human against totally overwhelming monsters.
Yeah, exactly. And what really ties them together for me is that same energy, that pulse-pounding feeling.
Yeah.
One person just standing against impossible odds.
It's absolutely that core theme, facing something insurmountable, where the stakes are just That's what makes both of them hit so hard, I think. You feel that tension.
And today, that connection, it's not just thematic anymore. It basically explodes into life in what we're calling the ultimate crossover battle.
Precisely. So this deep dive, it's all about exploring this imagined, really epic fight scenario detailed in our source material, Kaiju versus Shadows, Tokyo's epic crossover clash. Right. Our mission really is to unpack this awesome story. What happens when these two just colossal forces from totally different universes smash into each other right in Tokyo? We'll get into the action, the surprising humor, and some twists you might not expect.
All right, let's unpack this then. What's the scene? How does Kaiju versus Shadows set things up for us in this incredible clash?
Yeah, it drops you right into it. Chaos. Tokyo streets are just shattered. Neon signs flickering like crazy. Smoke pooling up over the skyline. It's intense.
Right, that immediate feeling of post-disaster, but something even worse is coming. The imagery sounds really vivid.
It really is. And in this scene, the source tells us Kaiju No.8, who, is this guy who turns into a monster but struggles to control it. He's been holding back for weeks.
Okay.
But tonight, he just loses it completely. His skin starts to glow, this menacing red, muscles bulging out. And the roar, it shakes the whole skyline. The description is perfect. Like an angrier Godzilla on espresso.
Love that.
Yeah. And you've got cars flying, buildings shaking, and this weirdly specific, kind of funny detail. A vending machine somewhere just starts spitting out free coffee amidst all the destruction.
That free coffee bit? That's brilliant. It really drives home how surreal it all is, a giant monster smashing an office building like it's made of Lego and free coffee. What's the goal there, you think, with that humor?
It sets up a contrast straight away, doesn't it? Shows that even when everything's falling apart, there's room for the absurd. It kind of hints this won't be just a grim monster mash.
Okay.
But just as it feels hopeless, boom. The counterforce arrives, a black gate, the solo leveling portal signature just tears open in the sky above Tokyo.
And out steps Jinwoo. From solo leveling, gotta be him. In the shadow armor, that super distinct dark plating, looking totally calm, probably smirking a bit.
Oh yeah, classic Jinwoo. Steps out, signature shadow armor gleaming, total calm. And yeah, that little smirk is there. His first reaction, perfectly in character, totally unfazed. The source quotes him saying, I came for a monster hunt. Didn't know I was stepping into a Godzilla audition.
That's perfect. So Jinwoo.
It just nails his whole vibe, confidence, bordering on boredom, even facing this giant red thing. And then right behind him, his shadows start pouring out. Igris, the big crimson knight.
His loyal number 2.
And Beru, the Ant King general, buzzing his wings all dramatically, the whole crew's arriving.
But it's not just about power clashing, is it? The source throws in some humor almost immediately, I remember. A really standout satirical moment.
Oh, it's fantastic. Beru, right, the Ant King, who's always a bit extra. He flies right up in front of Kaiju No.8, starts beating his chest like he's in some over-the-top J-drama.
And he yells out, doesn't he? Something really high-pitched and theatrical.
He does. It's quoted as, "Te wai yai, I will protect Master Jinwoo at all costs, even if it means my life." Just pure melodrama.
Amazing.
And then you get Igris, Mr. Stoic, just giving Beru this massive side-eye, and then slaps him on the back of the head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Igris just grumbles, deep voice, totally annoyed. Cut the drama. This is not an anime audition. It's such a great beat. It makes these powerful beings feel weirdly grounded for a second before all hell breaks loose again. Great pacing.
And Jinwoo's just laughing, while a kaiju is literally tearing down the city. That balance, the epic fight, and the comedy. How does the source make that work without feeling, jarring?
I think it works because the humor comes straight from who these characters are. It's not making fun of the threat itself. It just reminds you they have these quirks even now.
Right. Character-driven humor. Makes sense.
And then bam, the battle properly kicks off. Music apparently shifts electric guitars, taiko drums, Kaiju 8 charges, street explodes, shockwave hits the soldiers still around.
But Jinwoo's ready, gives the order.
Yep, Igris, Beru, go! And then it's just pure action montage, different styles clashing. Igris darts in, slices at the Kaiju's leg, sparks fly like fireworks, the source says.
Cool visual.
Totally. And then Beru just leaps onto the Kaiju's head, starts yelling random Japanese phrases like, Yamete kudasai.
Which means please stop.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's gonna work.
Exactly. Utterly pointless, which leads to the payoff. Kaiju just swats him away, sends him flying into this giant billboard, which now reads, try our new Kaiju burger.
Oh man, that's gold. The timing on that must be perfect.
It really lands. But the humor snaps back to danger pretty fast. Kaiju No.8 lets out another roar, and now its body is fully crimson, like glowing red, powering up big time.
The turning point. It gets bigger.
Yeah.
Our source says it doubles in size, becomes a Kaiju Hulk, a walking apocalypse.
Pretty much, streets cracking under its feet, windows shattering just from the pressure waves. It's not just a physical boost, though. What does that kind of power-up mean here?
Well, typically it means higher stakes, right?
Yeah.
But maybe also less control for Kaiju 8.
Exactly. It's that classic trope, but here it feels like it emphasizes the monster side taking over completely. More power, less Kafka. It's pure destructive force now.
And Jinwoo's reaction sees this Kaiju Hulk.
Just looks up, grinning, and says, all right, let's get serious. That line, that's the shift. He's not just swatting a monster now. This is a real challenge.
That let's get serious moment.
Right.
It changes everything, doesn't it?
It really does, because then he summons the whole army, the entire Shadow Legion. The description is awesome. Thousands of eyes just glowing in the dark. Tokyo basically becomes this spectral battleground.
Yeah.
Shadows versus this one, massive Crimson Kaiju.
Wow.
And what's clever here, I think, is how the source raises the stakes for both sides. Kaiju 8 is bigger, stronger, but Jinwoo has to commit everything. It's not just a fight. It's suddenly this huge strategic gamble for him, too.
All or nothing. Okay, so the climax, what happened? Igris and Beru tag teaming. Beru riding Igris' sword like a surfboard.
Seriously.
That's the visual. An image you won't forget.
Yeah.
It's just creatively nuts. A blend of their powers you wouldn't expect.
Definitely memorable. And the final act, Kaiju 8 doing massive damage.
Yeah, smashes a whole skyscraper.
Yeah.
But in doing so, accidentally takes out a giant Godzilla statue nearby.
No way.
The irony.
Right. And Jinwoo, mid-fight, actually stops, laughs, and goes, now that's just ironic. That little meta-nod is just perfect for a crossover like this.
It totally is. It wings
Yeah.
the whole premise.
Yeah.
And then the end of the fight.
Yep, an epic slow motion slash probably Igris, maybe combined power, and Kaiju No. 8 finally goes down, collapses. One last roar into the Tokyo night. Intense, but also kind of funny, right to the end.
So after all that chaos, the humor, the epic scale, what does this all mean for our deep dive? And for you, listening?
Well, it means Tokyo saw something truly unique that night, right? A clash that felt, like the source says, straight out of Godzilla meets Solo Leveling meets Kaiju No.8. It really showcases how you can blend these totally distinct worlds, these different vibes, into one story that actually works, that feels compelling.
And the humor element.
Yeah, I think what this crossover really nails is how humor, even in these super intense fights, doesn't have to undercut the stakes. It can actually deepen the characters, make the whole thing more memorable. It's a cool lesson in mixing tones, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the source doesn't just end it there, does it? It leaves us with something lingering. That line about somewhere in the rubble, a faint red glow still pulsed, followed by to be continued.
Right. And the tease, the return of the red kaiju.
Yeah. So what do you think that really implies? Not just for this specific story maybe, but for the whole idea of these crossovers. What's it saying about how powerful these characters, these monsters and heroes really are?
Right.
That they can endear, maybe even jump between worlds. Really makes you think, doesn't it? About the pure fun and like the endless possibilities when you start mixing these things up.